Hello everyone and welcome to the Shenanigans. Today we're doing something a little bit different. I thought I might start doing a bit of a news section because this week especially there has been a ton of announcements in all sorts of different areas of geek interest. So I figured that I might start doing this either weekly or bi-weekly, maybe monthly, just depending on how much new information we get every week. But like I said, this last week there's been a lot of announcements for a lot of different things, so let's get into it. The first I'm going to cover is The Matrix Resurrections, which dropped a trailer earlier this week, which it looks pretty sweet, guys. I put a link in the description to that trailer if you want to watch it for yourself. But yeah, it looks really awesome. Lana Wachowski, I'm hoping I'm saying that correctly, is back directing. I don't know if both of them are back or if it's just the one. Neo is back as well. Keanu Reeves reprising his role. And Trinity as well, Carrie-Anne Moss, is back. There is a new actor playing Morpheus, at least as far as I can tell from the trailer. And as best as I can tell, it looks like somehow Neo's back in the Matrix, taking the blue pill again. I don't know. It's very interesting. I highly recommend you guys check out the trailer for yourself. That is slated to come out December 22nd this year. Yeah, I'm very excited for that. So cool news there. Next up, if you follow my channel, you know I've been getting into the Pokemon trading card game. Recently, I've actually started building a deck, both in person and online, in the trading card game online. And I believe it was Friday, they announced the new rotation for standard format play, which again, I'm learning all about this as I go, so bear with me. But basically what that means is, at least according to this update, is that all Sun and Moon cards are now no longer valid for standard play. Only Sword and Shield cards, and going forward, they will all have either a D or an E mark in the bottom left corner, as well as the possibility of new marks in the future as future sets come out. I believe this is a way to kind of help make it easier each time they rotate the standard format play, and update it so that, my guess is next year into next year, or possibly the year after that, they'll suddenly say, okay, cards with the deregulation mark are no longer valid, and then you have to remove all those cards from your deck for standard play. Expanded play has not changed, however. I believe that still goes all the way back to black and white sets. So if you are in a expanded play league, then there's really not much that you need to change. It's only if you're playing in a standard format league. The link to that update will also be down in the description. For Star Wars news, PlayStation kind of got everybody excited. They dropped a trailer or teaser trailer for Knights of the Old Republic Remastered or Remake, which is something that players have been asking for years. I mean, it's been almost 20 years since the game came out, and it is arguably one of the best games ever made. Not just the best Star Wars game ever made, but one of the best video games ever made. It's going to be handled by Aspyr Media, who also ported games like Jedi Outcast, Republic Commando, to Mac OS as well as the Nintendo Switch. And there's no release date yet, and there's also no word on if it's going to be available on Xbox or Switch. So far, they've only announced it for PS5 and for PC. So that's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Again, they did release Republic Commando, I believe Jedi Outcast, Jedi Academy on the Nintendo Switch in the last couple of years here. So it makes sense that they would also port this to Switch, but who knows? It is, according to the article I read, they're basically building it from the ground up again. What that exactly means, I'm not sure, but obviously we can expect updated graphics. They may update the gameplay to more modern role-playing mechanics. For those of you who are familiar with role-playing games like Dungeons & Dragons, the original KOTOR, I believe, was roughly based on 3rd edition Dungeons & Dragons. So they may update that to reflect more recent additions to that kind of game mechanic. But who knows? I'm very excited for that. But again, we don't have a release date yet. So we're just going to have to kind of sit here and wait until we get more information. And finally, a lot of news coming out of the Disney universe. So they recently announced that all remaining movies for 2021, which include Marvel Eternals and The King's Man, will release exclusively in theaters. No more Disney Plus Premier Access and none of that garbage. It's just going to be straight in theaters. And then I assume eventually, after it has its theater run, it will eventually come back to Disney Plus. But it's interesting to see that, and it makes sense. Shang-Chi, which just came out, I haven't had a chance to see it yet, but I want to, but that released solely in theaters and apparently has done incredibly well, which is unsurprising because we haven't had like an in-theater release of a Marvel movie for quite a while. Yes, Black Widow was there, but Black Widow also released on Disney Premier Access, Disney Plus Premier Access, to a lot of flack from that. It was a whole thing. I know Scarlett Johansson basically sued Disney over it, and I don't know exactly what happened with that. But hopefully, from here on out, it's going to be smooth sailing for Marvel. On top of that, looking forward to the next several years, Disney Marvel, I guess I should say, has 4 releases planned for the year 2020 and 5 releases planned for 2023. So the, Series 4, Tier 4, Storyline 4? I forget what they call it in the Marvel Universe. But the 4th arc of the Marvel Cinematic Universe is well underway. A lot of stuff coming for that. They didn't list any specifics in the information that I read, but there's things like Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, She-Hulk, the new Spider-Man, Far From Home, Away From Home, No Way Home, whatever it was, the new one. So there's a lot of stuff coming out then. Potentially, I'm hoping to see some crossover between Sony Marvel, so we can get like Tom Holland's Spider-Man with Tom Hardy's Venom, because that would be amazing, but who knows. They also have Avatar 2 scheduled for 2022. Not really sure when, possibly December, because, again, the article I was reading discussed a new Star Wars film from director Patty Jenkins, who directed Wonder Woman, based on Rogue Squadron, is scheduled for December 2023, and then for the next 5 or so years, is going to alternate between Star Wars release and an Avatar release in December of that year. So that's very exciting. I love the Rogue Squadron game series. The book series was good as well. I had thought that that was going to be Legends from now on, and maybe this is going to be kind of their way of reintroducing it into the new Star Wars canon, kind of like they did with Grand Admiral Thrawn, as well as some of the more obscure Mandalorian lore and The Mandalorian. So there's a lot of interesting information wrapped up in that segment. So, but yeah, so that's all the news I have for this week. Like I said, this may be a recurring segment. This may be a one-off. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you like this kind of format? Do you like this information? Do you want more of this? I can make a longer video. This one's 10 minutes or so, give or take. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of this in the comments below. Again, the links to the trailers and the some of the update information will be in the description, so check that out for yourself. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you all in the next video.